Okay, hello everyone. In this training video, we're going to go over Gmail, basically everything you need to know about Gmail. So we're going to start with number one, which is creating, sending emails, composing emails, and we're going to go all the way down to keyboard shortcuts. And let's get started with number one. So first off, and if you would like to create an email, okay, compose an email, you can go right here and you can just press compose. So compose means to create a Gmail, and then you're going to enter the name of the person you want to send it to. Okay, as you type in their name, you'll get some options if it's an email that you've sent to somebody before. Now, at the top, you have the person that you're sending it to. Now, if you take a look here, you'll see something called the CC. That stands for carbon copy. So that means if you want to copy somebody on the email, it means if you want somebody else just to know what's going on, you can do that as well. And when you copy a person on the email, everybody in the email will know that they're copied. So if I click here, copy email, everybody on the email will know they're copied. So let's just say I'm copying. I'll just pick a student for example. So that's what CC stands for, carbon copy. Now you also have the option to what's called a blind carbon copy, which is BCC. So if I BCC somebody, this person will get a copy of the email, but these two people won't know that they're getting a copy of the email. That's what the B stands for the blind carbon copy. So I'll just put, like, let's say student one, for example. So the top is who you're sending it to, and you have a carbon copy, blind carbon copy, and subject. You always want to add a subject. For the subject, let's just say a sample. You can type in, here is a sample email. Okay, so to create and send an email, okay, we went to compose, we typed in our email, and now we're going to go to send, okay. And if you take a look here, these are all little shortcuts, okay. So control enter is a shortcut to send. We're going to press send, and you can see right down here that the message was sent, okay. I have the option to undo the message, and in a short time I'll show you how you can change the time about undo and explain this. So we did number one, create, send, blind carbon copy, carbon copy. So now let's go to attach and link files. So let's say I want to attach and link files. I'll do compose again. So let's say I'm going to add to a student. We'll say student 4. And we'll go assignment will be our topic. And let's say I want to attach an assignment to that student. Work. Or you can send this to a coworker. If you want to attach something, you have to go down to the bottom here, and you'll see two ways you can attach. Actually, a few ways. So the first is to attach files. Now, if you attach files and you click here, that's going to give you the option to attach files from your desktop, okay, or your downloads. Basically, the little paperclip is to attach files from your computer. Okay, so if you take a look here, here are some files, and I can attach files from my computer if I go to the paperclip. So maybe I'll attach a PDF. Okay, so right now that file is being attached. It's from my computer, and you'll see it. It's right here on the bottom. Okay, so one file is already attached, so it's changed from a paperclip. Now it has a little paper in the background, so you know you've already attached something. You can also attach files from your Google Drive, okay, and that's not really that's more like link sharing. So I'm going to click this little drive icon here, and now I'll be able to attach files right from the Google Drive. So for example here, like this says copy of algebra quiz, so I'm going to click this. All right, and again, I'm in Drive. I can, you know, filter from shared with me to recent files. I can go back to my Drive. So I'm going to click the file, and then I'm going to go to insert. Okay, and you'll notice that it's been placed right here. Okay, and lastly, you can insert a link. Okay, so if I have a link to a website, let's say we'll do math. So I'm going to copy this link. I'm pressing Control C, and where it says web address down here, I'm going to copy this the link, and where it says text display, this is what you want it to say in the email. Now you won't want this HTTP because it looks ugly, so you could put a website link. And now I'm going to press OK. Alright, so the web address that I copied from here, I put it right in here, and then the words I wanted to display are up here, and you're going to see a little has a little bar underneath, so you could know as well. So you see the little bar underneath. Okay, So I've added that, and if you hover over it, you'll be able to click right here and double check, and you can remove it or change it and things like that. Okay, so we've added a file from our desktop, we've attached a link, and we've added something from our drive. So now you're just going to press send, and because we're sharing something from our Google Drive, this is going to pop up. So we're going to share with one person. Do we want to grant this person viewer access, comment access, or edit access? Let's just say viewer access. You also have the option to maybe just click this on instead, which is link sharing, and that means anybody in my domain with this link can view it. Sometimes it's easier this way. And remember, can view is the safest way to do it. So I'll turn on link sharing, and then I'll press send. And down below you can see the message was sent. Okay, so now let's go to reply, forward, reply all. Okay, so now I want to reply. I want to work on reply all. Now you can only reply all if it's more than one person in the email. So let's take a look here. Here's an email, and if you take a look, it's to me, but there's also another email here. So it says, what is everybody doing? If I want to reply just to this person here, which is my other account, I can just click this little reply, and I will reply just directly to one person. Okay, so you have to be careful. Sometimes you might just click reply and you really want to reply to everybody in the email. If you want to reply to everybody in the email, if you look right down here, you can press reply all. Reply was right down here, or you can even go up here to more and you can find reply all as well. So because there's more than 2 people in this email, I have the reply all option. So reply is just to the person right here that sent this, and then reply all, let's click reply all. Notice you've got 2 emails on this as well. And if I type in something like I don't know, it will be sent to both emails. Okay, because I'm replying to all. And to forward an email, maybe you want to forward an email to somebody that's not even a part of the email discussion, or somebody else. You can just go to forward, and then you can just enter in somebody else's email, and it's kind of like just sending them a copy with a forward. And I'll say, take a look at this. Okay, and then send, and then that's forwarding an email. Okay, but again, when you open up the email here, you had a couple different options. All right, now let's take a look at archive versus delete versus snooze. Okay, so here's an email. Okay, and if you take a look at the right, as you hover over it, you're going to have the option to archive an email, to delete an email, to mark it as unread, or snooze an email. Now if I delete an email, let's say, okay, so let's take this email right here. Let's say I delete it. If I delete this email, it's going to go right in my trash can. And when you delete an email, it will go into the trash bin, okay, and it'll stay there for about 30 days, and then it will be gone forever. Okay, so that's what happens if you delete an email. If you archive an email, it's a little bit different. If you archive an email, what's going to happen is it's going to go to all mail, and it'll kind of just be saved. It won't be deleted. So you could kind of have it there. You could always get back to it. If you're a G Suite for Education School, you have like probably unlimited space. So you're better off really archiving emails if it's from a parent or a teacher, because you never know when you might want to go back and find it. So archive's a little bit safer. Mark as unread. So if I mark this as unread, I'm going to show you what this does right here. It's going to turn it black again and all bold. And maybe you do that because you're like, you know what, I read it, but I don't understand it, or you clicked it too soon and you want to go back to it. So this is mark it unread. And this last thing here is pretty cool. This is called snooze. Okay, if you see, I have a snooze label right here as well. I'm going to go over labels. So if I click this little thing, snooze, and you can see I have some other emails here that I snoozed a week ago. If I hit snooze, it's gonna snooze this email. Means it's gonna like kind of put it away, and then snooze is kind of like sending a reminder. It's like putting it to sleep, and then later at this day, it's gonna pop up to the front again. So if I put snooze until tomorrow at 8 a.m., then it's gonna pop back up again at 8 a.m. for me. And if I go to my snooze folder right here, it's not really a folder, it's called a label. You can see this thing is snoozed until tomorrow, till August 21st, when it'll pop up again. Okay. If I were to, let's say I go to my snooze file and I, let's say, unsnooze. Okay, so I've snoozed it. If I want to unsnooze it, I can go in here. I can go to unsnooze. Okay, here's my inbox. And again, right, I can delete this. If I delete it, it's going to go right in my trash. And you can see it right here. And if I, for example, archive an email, it's just going to go into the all mail folder. Okay, so that's what archive does. Archive is just going to send it to the all mail folder. So I'm going to take this archive, and then it's going to be in my all mail folder, and here it is. Okay, archive. So it's not really deleted. In the trash, it will be deleted one day. Okay, so now we've gone over archive, delete. Now let's go over multiple inboxes. Okay, there's different types of inboxes that you can choose from and things like that. So if you go up here to this gear icon in the settings, okay, and the gear is like a symbol always for settings, and you can go to see more settings. So I click the gear, I went to settings, and then if I go to inbox, okay, you can choose different inbox types. Okay, so you can have important emails pop up first, unread, starred emails first, priority inbox, or multiple inboxes. The Google G Suite for Education, the Google Certified Educator exam recommends the priority inbox. Okay, and what it does is it basically has its own little algorithm to know which emails are a priority for you. Okay, so that's one option here on the priority inbox. If you want, though, you can do unread first. I think that's pretty easy. So any email that you didn't read just pops up to the front, and then number 2 is everything else underneath it. You can have important emails first. Again, Google has a way to know what's important for you with what's not. You can stick to the default email, or go with the priority box, or you could have multiple inboxes here, and with multiple inboxes, if you like, you could create different sections. Okay, now I think it's probably best just to stick to maybe the priority inbox or unread first. Those are the two that I recommend, that I like, but I mean, it's really up to you. So you can really choose different inboxes. And if you go here, multiple inbox, I should really say inbox types. Okay, because we're just really exploring the different types of inboxes. So if you want to see what a priority inbox looks like, I'm just going to click here, priority, and then I'm going to go down and I'm going to save changes. Okay, and you can see priorities a little different. It has important and unread at the top. Okay, and then it has starred here, and then everything else below. So you see how priority inbox is kind of a little bit more organized. Okay, I'm going to go here to inbox, and maybe this time I want to go with the starred first. So these are emails that have been starred. I'm going to go over that next. Let's go to save changes. And these are all the items that I've put a star on. Unread first, I think, is also a good one. I'm just going to click that one. So unread is on the top, everything else is on the bottom. So with unread first, it really doesn't matter the date. It's just kind of anything that you didn't read goes to the front. Now this one's here because it's snoozed. Remember, we went over snooze. So okay, even though it was read, we have to read it again because it's snoozed. And you could see all these things are unread because they're bold. So all right, so next up is starred files, or starred emails, let's say. Email files. So here we are. We're in our inbox. And if you take a look here, you could see these little stars on the side. Okay. Now I've created the priority inbox, so all my stars are kind of in the middle. And let's say I get an email and it's really important to me, and I don't want to lose it or anything like that. So what I can do is I can quickly add a star to it. So if you see right here, where it says not starred, I can click this little star. Okay, and now the email is starred. And something else that's cool is you can actually click it again and turn it off. So you can let's keep that as a starred email, right? So it was said question is student 4 to me. So I've starred this email, and now if we go to our starred file, here it is. Question student 4 to me. It's there. It goes. Okay. Now something else cool with the stars, if you want to see all those different options, again, if you go to settings, and settings is always that gear, and you go down, you'll notice here that you can have different star things, and you could bring them up. So like I could bring this down, and like I showed you before, I had that little option with the question mark and the red star. So I can keep it. The only stars we use right now is the orange, but you could have all different ones. You could have a check mark here, you could have the question mark, you could have this thing, and I'm adding all these different cool ones, and I could then toggle between all of them. This is like and it'll tell you what it's kind of for, right? This is like, this double arrow is like, maybe I should forward that to somebody. So I'm basically here just messing around with these stars. I'm going to save the changes. Okay, let me go back here. And now if I want to star an email, let's say, I'll click it once, it's orange. Now it's got that little check box that I added, this other box, the thing. Remember, I added all different ones here because I went into the settings. All right, so next is Gmail filters. Okay, Gmail filters. So let's go back here. And these here on the side are called different labels. Okay, I'm going to show you how to create them next, but it'll start off for you and you'll have like your own little labels here that's starred, snooze, all mail, things like that. So let's say you constantly get an email from your principal. And whenever you get an email from your principal, you want to star that email because it's really important. Or you want to get an email from your boss or something else, and you always want that to be starred. Well, you can create filters that whenever you get that email, it constantly goes in the starred label. It always goes in the starred folder, kind of. So I'm going to go to settings, all settings. And if you look at the top here, it says filters and blocked addresses. So I'm going to click this right here. And I can create a new filter or have important filters. So these, I've already created some filters here. Okay. Let's create a new filter. So we're going to go create a new filter. And so I can put a person's email address here, and if I ever get, an email from that person, I can send it to a specific label. So let's say if I get one from my school account, okay, if it's ever from this person, that's the filter. So if I ever get an email from this person, the to file means if there's ever an email that's to somebody specifically, maybe it's me and somebody else, it goes here. How about the subject? If the subject says, let's say, you can create maybe chess club. So if you have something with the word chess on it, you can send it to the chess label folder. But let's just say from this person here, and we're going to create the filter. So if it's from this person, and let's just say it has the subject school, let's just say. I'll go to create filter. And now whenever I get an email from this person and the subject is school, I can make sure it's always starred. I can make sure it's added to, let's say, I don't know, the IP, the IP meeting label. You can, take that off if you want. I can automatically forward it. I could have it automatically deleted. Bunch of different things you can do here. You can always mark it as important. So if I get an email from this person and the subject school, I want it always marked as important. As you create these filters, you know what I mean? It helps the algorithm for the priority inbox know what's important and what's not important. So I'm going to go to create filter now. And here is the filter. So it says if it matches from this person and it has the subject school, do what? Well, make it a star and mark it as important. So I have another one here, like let's say this email's a parent, and I constantly get a parent, complaining and sending me emails. I can create a folder, a label folder called Parent X, and all these emails will go into the Parent X label right here. So that's filters. All right, so next up on the list is number 8, which is to create and manage labels. So if you take a look on the side here, you can see all these different labels, whether it be a G Suite team, IP meetings, mathematics, parent X, etc. and so forth. Okay, even starred, snooze, and these labels are essentially folders. These are some that I created here, and if you want to see more, you can click more, and I'll be able to toggle down a little bit. And you can always create a new label right here by going to create label. And I just want to show you, like if I go into mathematics, or if I go in the mathematics folder, you'll see a question here, and it's inside the mathematics folder, and it's for student 4, probably about math. The G Suite team, you'll see here it's from the G Suite team. So to create a new folder, you want to go down, excuse me, to create a new label, and then at the very bottom, you're going to click create new label, and you can title your label. So let's title this, let's title it Google Drive Info, whatever. And I can take this folder and I can nest it under a different folder, so I can make it a subfolder of math or something like that, or I can just create it as just a regular folder. So I'm just going to go to create, and it says here label Google Drive Info was created. And now let's take a look. There you go. There goes our new label, Google Drive Info. And if you go to inbox, you can take emails and you can sort of drop them in there, sort of drag and drop. So I just grab this one email and I'm just dropping it in the Google Drive folder, the Google Drive label, and there it is. There's other ways to add it. So if I were to open up, let's open this up here, and if I want to add it to a label, I can also click right here where it says labels, and then I can just choose which one I want. So I'll go to, let's say, Google Drive Info, check that off, and go down to apply. And labels are great it's great for organization, just like with Google Drive, right? You know, you have different folders in Drive. You can have different labels in Gmail. And if I wanted to create a subfolder within Google Drive, I can go to create new label. So in subfolder for the Google Drive, let's say we'll say slides, and then I could go to click nest under, and then I'll go to my Google Drive info, create. And now if I go up here, you'll see slides is nested under the Google Drive info. And you can even manage these labels by going all the way down to the bottom, clicking manage labels. And take a look here. Here are all the labels I have. Some of them, you know, right now it's showing. I can hide it if I want. So if you take a look, you see start is showing up here. If I click hide, it's gone. If I click show, pops right back up. You can take a look back and forth, back and forth. And if you look down and scroll down, you could see some information here. So here's like my Google Drive info, where I have 2 emails in there. You see 2 conversations. Math, I have 1 conversation. You can also create labels from here. Okay, I'm literally in settings. Okay, or you can get to it just by manage label, both ways. You know, you can go to settings here, click labels. There's a lot of ways to get there. And if you want to remove or delete one, you take a look right here where it says action. I'm going to go to remove, delete, and there it is. It's gone now. So you could take a look over here, and it is removed. So, you know, you could manage them like this. You could, you know, edit if you want to change the name and stuff like that. Okay, next up is to translate messages. Translate messages. So we'll go back to our inbox, and here I have an email. And it says down here, what am I looking for? And this is the email, let's say, and let's say I want to say what am I looking at in a different language. I can go right here to the more action, and down here I can click translate message, and I have it in English. And what do I want to translate it to? It's on Polish, and whatever that means, nako patre, whatever. Russian, I mean, take a look. There you go, Russian, you know, Macedonian. I mean, you could look at these languages, right? So that's how you can translate. That's how you can translate messages. Now let's say you want to select all your emails and you want to toggle between the old and the new emails. All right, so let's say you want to like mass delete a bunch of emails. Okay. You're not gonna just press like let's say I'm not gonna just go delete, 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 delete. What I can do is I can go right here where this little where it says select, and I can select maybe all my emails, and now I can I have the option to delete all of them. I'm not gonna do that. I can select my read emails, and you'll see just the ones that I've read. You can select unread emails. Okay, or you can even, if you want to remove that, you can just select some by hand. Like I'm just selecting this one, select that one, and you can see I've selected these three. And then after you've done that, you can report them as spam. I'll get into that in a little bit. You can archive them all. So after you've selected them all, you have options to do a lot of things. Okay, you could add them to tasks. Okay, but remember, once it's selected, then you have all these options of things you want to do. Maybe you want to select more than one. Now you can also toggle between old and new emails. So this right here is like today is the newer email 1226. This is in the default view. I don't think it's going to work like this if you have priority inbox, but if I go like this, now it's the older emails first. And if I go like this, it's the new emails first. So I'm able to toggle between new and old. Let's take a look now at video, setting up a video chat, a Google Meet, or a text chat. Okay. So if you want to start a Google Meet, it's very simple. They have Google Meet integrated right here. So this is if you want to start a meeting, and this is to join a meeting. So if I want to join a Google Meet, I can simply enter the meeting code by the organizer, and you'd see it's got the little dash, 3 letters dash, 4 letters dash, 3 letters. So that's just to join a meeting if you're already in your Gmail, or you could start a new meeting. So I could go to start meeting. And once I get going here, if you want to add people to the meeting right from your Gmail, what you have to do first is you have to first join the meet. And then after you join the meet, then you could add people. And I'm going to show you that in a second right now. So the meeting's ready. It's got some information for me. I'll go to join now. Here's our meeting. Then I would, as soon as it pops up here, I could go to add people, which I'm going to click. And then from there, I can type in some names. Let's say student, just for example, send an invitation to student 4. Okay. Send email. Hello. So I'm going to now close this. Okay, so we're back here and we went over, creating a video meeting. Now let's say you want to create a chat. Okay, if you look down at the bottom here, okay, you see this little plus where it says my name. I can click this little plus for new conversation. And then you could add somebody. I'm already using student 4. So I'm clicking on the chat, and here's a back and forth, right? So let's chat on Hangouts. How you doing? I'm doing well. I can send another message. How is the work? And there it is. Okay. Vacation responses are good if you're, going to be out for a week or two or something like that. So to set up a vacation response, you're going to go here to this little gear icon in settings. See all settings. And you want to go to general. Okay. And if you scroll down to the bottom here, you'll see something called vacation responder. And you want to click this as on. Okay. If you have it as off, it's not going to work. You want to click it as on. And you could choose your day, the first day. So let's just say the 24th to the 27th. The subject is vacation because you're going to be out. And they already have for you a little response. I'm sorry, but I'm away for this week. I will respond as soon as I get back. And here you can choose to send it to only people in contacts or keep it in your domain. I would just leave it without checking these 2 boxes off. And then, of course, press save. So that's your vacation responder. Next is pretty cool. You can add signatures, which helps make your emails look a little more professional. So to add a signature, you're going to go to your little gear icon, see all settings, and then under general, you're going to scroll down and you can see signature here. So I already have one. I have as my signature my name, Google Certified Trainers, Masters in Education. I have another one here, Teacher of Mathematics. You can create as many as you like. So we'll say, let's create a new one. We'll call this test. We will go to create. And then as you create a new one, you're just going to type in, let's say, master teacher or something like this, like STE. Add whatever you like. So now you can see there's a couple different signatures I have here. But if you want to make sure which one to use, okay, or when to use it, you could take a look down here. And it says for new emails, use which one. Am I going to choose signature to, test? Let's go with test, for example. And do I want to have it on reply or forward? We'll go with test, let's say. So, save changes. I'm going to go to compose. And there you go. There's the new one we created. Master Teacher, 7th grade, and, you know, the email. Okay, next up is using templates. All right, this used to be called canned responses. Now it's called templates. It's an important one. And I think it's great because if you're constantly replying back to people using the same things, like, you know, maybe you get the same email from, you know, a parent and it says, you know, why did my student fail? You can have like a template that says, okay, I'm going to look at their grade right now and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And then you could reuse that template as much as you like. So let's go back to email. Okay, you're going to go to, again, settings, gear icon, see all settings. And then actually you want to go to advanced. Okay, and templates are in advanced, and make sure you check off this enabled. Okay, so it's going to start with disabled. You're going to click enabled. Don't forget to go down, press save, okay? And then let's say you get an email. Here's an email. It says here, what days are you available? Let's just say you constantly respond to emails and you say things like, I don't, but I'll get back to you soon. And let's say this is something you're going to constantly use all the time. That you want to reuse this, you want to keep this as a template and use these words to respond to a bunch of other emails. So what you're going to do then is go to these three little dots, the more options, go to templates, and you could see I've already created some before, okay, but you're going to save this draft, meaning I'm going to save what I just wrote. I'm going to save this draft as a template, and then I'm going to go to save as new because I'm creating a new one. This is going to be my new one. So save as new template, and I'll just call this don't know. This is my don't know template, and I'm going to go to save. So now if I'm opening up, let's say, and I'm going to go back here. So let's say I get another email and I want to reply to it. I'll go to my reply, and then I can go to my templates, and let's say I don't know, I want to use the don't know. I'm going to go down to these three little dots. You'll see templates at the top, and then I'm just going to click don't know. And there it is. I don't know yet, but I'll get back to you soon. So that's how you use templates. Okay, next up is utilizing nudges. Nudges uses smart technology to kind of, you know, let you know when you should be responding to an email. So if you get an email and maybe it asks you a question like, hey, what day are you available? And you never answered that, you'll get a little nudge and it'll say, hey, you know, it's time to answer this thing. So we're back in Gmail. And we're going to go to the settings, see all settings, and to find nudges, it's going to be in general, where I am. I'm going to scroll down, and right here, very important, you want to have these two checked off. So it suggests emails that you should reply to. So emails that maybe you forgot to respond to, they're going to appear at the top of your inbox, and it's going to nudge you to do it. And emails that you kind of didn't follow up on that you should, it's also going to remind you to do that as well. So these are really good, these nudges. So you want to have those on. Okay, so next up is to insert an image in a mail. So if I'm composing an email, I can insert an image right into the email. So I'm going to go to compose. If you look at the bottom right here, it says insert photo. So first I'll type in, let's say checkout, and then I'm going to go to insert photo. And then I can get images that I have. These are my own photos. I can go into albums. I can upload a photo from my computer. You could do a web address if you have a link to an image, okay, like a link to a photo. But I had this one here, so we'll do insert. And then you have a little Yoda image that somebody sent me. I've used this in my Google Classroom video. And now this image is right in the email. Okay, so you're adding images right in the email, which is cool. Okay, next up is the undo an email. Let's say you want to undo an email. So here's an email I created, and let's say I'm sending it to somebody. Let's say a student, Yoda, and then you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to send this to student 4, and then you click send, but you say to yourself, oh, you know what, it's inappropriate, I shouldn't send it to a student. You have the option to quickly undo. And maybe you think this thing doesn't work, but so many times I've sent something and I didn't realize till the moment after I sent it that I shouldn't be sending it. So the undo thing is great. So I'm going to click send, and you should see at the left hand side, here it is, sending, message sent, and you see where it says undo? I'm going to click it. And now sending undone, because I kind of stopped it. Okay, so you could click send, and then you could hit that undo right there at the bottom. Okay, we'll do it one more time. Send, and then there it is. Now you can control the amount of time for an undo by going to your settings as well. So I'm going to actually close this down, and let's go into settings. And right here at the top, what's the cancellation period? That means how much time do you have before you can say I don't want to send it. Right now I have it on 30 seconds, but you could do it 20, 10, or 5. I suggest 30, and the choice is yours. Okay, remember, you would press save if you change anything. All right, next up is to search in Gmail. Search in Gmail. You know, we've been working on labels to keep things organized. So one way to search, like going to print act, if you're looking for something from a crazy parent or something like that, you know, you could check your spam. All mail should have everything. You could even search your trash. But the best way to search is right up here where it says search mail. And if you click this little thing, show search options, you can get a little more specific. So now you could search who's it from. So let's say I'm searching something from student 4. And what subject does it, or has the words work, or the words lesson, or something like that. So you have a bunch of different ways to filter your search. So you can search who's it from, who was it sent to, what was the subject, what words did it have, what words does what it doesn't have, the size of the email, and you can go by megabytes, kilobytes. You can do a date range, so you would pick the date here, and then it would be, so let's say, if you want, I just want to show you, you could pick, let's say the 10th, and then you could say within 1 day, within 3 days. You can search all mail. Do you want to just search a specific folder, an inbox? So you have all this different stuff here, okay? And then let's go 2 months here, and then you would click search, and there are no matches. Okay, so let's go back, and let's say we'll get rid of the word work, and let's go with search. And I do have some emails from student 4 here that I found. Okay, to report spam or block. Every once in a while you'll get an email that you'll keep getting emails from somebody that you don't want, or you're getting unwanted emails, and you can report those unwanted emails as spam, and then you can actually block that person. And we'll say let's click this one here, and let's say I want to block this. Okay, let's say I want to send it to spam. Let's just say I'm going to go to more, and then I'm going to go right down here, and I'm going to hit report spam. Okay, now I'm not going to do that yet because you know, this is Google Classroom and everything, but let's just say I want to block this person. I'm going to go block Liam Hill. Okay, so future messages from here will be marked as spam now because it's always from this person, and I'm just going to go here to block. Okay, so I've blocked this person, And again, if I want to go up to my settings, I can check them out now, right? Filters and blocked addresses, and if you go down here, you can see here it is. So I can undo it as well. I can unblock. Okay, now I can unblock that person. So that's how you can block them. And you know, every once in a while you'll just get an email that maybe you don't want or something like that, and you can just click on it and go right. So let's just pretend this is an unwanted email and I want to send this as spam. If you go right up here to this little, it looks like a little stop sign with, I can click this and it will report it as spam. Or I can go to the three little dots, the more icon, and I can report it as spam here as well. Okay, so that's how you can do it. You mark this message, but you have contact senders. Yeah, I don't want to mark that as spam. I don't. Okay, I pressed that by mistake. Let's go to the last one, which are keyboard shortcuts, which can save you a lot of time, especially since we're working more and more time at our, we're working more and more using a Gmail and working at our desks and things like that. So if you want to find keyboard shortcuts, you go to settings and you can go to advanced, and right here where it says customize keyboard shortcuts, you can enable them. Click save changes, and I'm going to go back to my settings, and now you can see keyboard shortcuts right here, and you can create your own little customs for the keyboard shortcuts. Okay, so this is what they have. Compose is very common. It's a C. You save yourself time. You don't hit it, just press C. D, compose in the tab. This little slash is to search and mail. Well, here's all your shortcuts. Okay, so you can get a look at them, and it'll save you some time. Okay, so look at all these shortcuts. Okay, I start by practicing it off, and so that's basically it. We did these are, I think, 20 of the most important things from Gmail. So basically, this is everything you would need to know. Stay tuned. I'm going to do one for Google Calendar as well, because I think that's just as important, and I'm going to try to get as many of these done as possible.